Hello friends, welcome to Sibanjit's live video classes. The subject we are discussing today is quantitative aptitude and the topic of discussion today is number system. This is the first part of number system which includes the category of numbers. So before I move on to the main discussion, I'd like to request you all to please do like our videos and subscribe our channel. And if you have any comments, discussions or queries regarding our videos, you can jot it down in the discussion box below. So friends, without wasting much of the time, let's move on to the main discussion of today's topic. Okay friends, now let's move and see what are the number categories in the chapter of number system. So this is the first topic that we have to put our concentration on. Okay, so number categories are basically divided into two types. Okay, the real and imaginary. These are the two basic categories of the number system. The real number system and the imaginary number system. So now let's look at the subdivisions of each of the categories. Okay, so real numbers are basically divided into two types. The first one is rational and the next one is irrational. Okay, again this rational and irrational is again subdivided. Rational is of two types, integers and fractions. Okay, these fractions can also be termed as non-integers. So rational is divided into two types, integers and fractions, or you can say integers and non-integers. Okay, these integers are again subdivided into three types, that is positive, negative and whole numbers. Okay, and positive integers are also termed as natural numbers. Okay, so moving on to the fractions. Fractions also have three divisions, which is your proper, improper and mixed fractions. So this is the entire category which falls under the real number system, whereas the other number category, which is the imaginary number system, has no such basic characteristics. Okay, so this is the basic number categories, you can say the division table which you have to keep in mind, and now we will discuss each and every category in details. Okay friends, now let us discuss the number categories one by one in details. So the first one here is real numbers. So what are these real numbers? They are defined as the numbers which occupies a place in the number line. Okay, these real numbers occupy a definite position in the number line. So examples here are 1, minus 2, 3, minus 13, etc. So any number which has a definite place in the number line are termed as real numbers. Okay, so moving on to the next one is rational numbers. So now what are these rational numbers? Numbers which can be expressed in the form of a by b. Okay, where a and b are integers. Now what is exactly integers will come a bit later, but please do keep in mind that a and b are both integers and b should not be equal to 0. These are very important points. A and b are integers and b should not be equal to 0. And the form that you have to keep in mind is a by b. So examples in this case is 3 by 5. Now in this number 3 by 5, it is expressed in the form of a by b, isn't it? 3 by 5, where 3 and 5 are both integers and here b is equal to 5, which is not equal to 0, right? So other examples here are 6 by minus 5, or you can say minus 3 by 7. So such kind of numbers fall in the category of rational numbers. Moving on to the next one here is irrational numbers. So non-terminating and non-recurring numbers which cannot be expressed in a by b form, where a, b are integers and b is not equal to 0, are termed as irrational numbers. Now this part is clear, I suppose, which cannot be expressed in the form of a by b. But what is now non-terminating and non-recurring numbers? What do we mean by that? Okay, non-terminating means they do not stop, and non-recurring means they do not repeat. Okay, so how to understand this? So look at this example, root 3. Now root 3 is an example of irrational number. Now when you find the value of root 3, the answer comes out to be 1.732 ... It keeps on continuing. So as this number is keeping continuing, okay, it is in a continuous state, hence it is termed as non-terminating. It do not stop. Okay, and non-recurring means, can you find any of the digits repeating? No. So hence this is a non-recurring as well as a non-terminating number. So root 3 is an irrational number. Likewise, when you find the value of root 7 also, you will find it to be a non-terminating and non-recurring number which cannot be expressed in the form of a by b. I hope this is clear to you all. Okay friends, now let's see what is the next category. It is integers. So what are integers now? Combination of both positive and negative numbers, including 0 in the number line. So whatever number is there in the number line, including 0, positive as well as negative, all fall in the category of integers. So examples here is -5, -6, 0, 2, 3. So negative numbers 0 plus the positive numbers all combine together and form integers. Okay. So now what are positive integers? So positive numbers in the number line. The number name itself is telling us that positive integers are what? The positive numbers in the number line. Example, you can say 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. So now moving on to this side, we come to the next category, which is negative integers. Okay. What are negative integers? Negative numbers in the number line. Examples, -2, -3, -1, etc. After that comes whole numbers. So now what is this whole numbers? So positive numbers plus 0. Okay. Positive numbers plus 0 will give us the whole numbers. Example, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Keep in mind, when this 0 is included with the positive numbers, they form the whole numbers. Whereas, when 0 is omitted and only the positive numbers are taken into consideration, they are the positive integers. Okay? So next is fractions. So numbers in the form of a by b, where b is not equal to 0, are fractions. Example, 4 by 5, 6 by 7, etc., where b is not equal to 0. So now in these fractions, the number which is placed above the bar, or you can say above this dash, is known as your numerator. Clear? And the number which is below is your denominator. Okay? So in short, what we can say, A is our numerator and B is our denominator. In the case of fractions, where B is not equal to 0, means the denominator can never be 0. Now let's see proper fractions. What is a proper fractions? Numerator less than denominator. Whenever your numerator is less than the denominator, they are termed as your proper fractions. Example is 4 by 9, 3 by 7, etc. Now see, in this 4 by 9, 4 is our numerator and 9 is our denominator. And for a proper fraction, numerator should be less than denominator. So the numerator, you see here, it is 4, which is less than 9. And in this example also 3 by 7, 3 is less than 7. So this is also a proper fraction. Next we come to improper fraction. Now in improper fraction, the denominator should be less than the numerator. Okay, and examples here are, you can see 8 by 3, 5 by 2, etc. Just check out the numerator, which is 8, is now greater than the denominator, right? Here also the numerator 5 is greater than the denominator, that is 2. So the denominator should be less than the numerator. And finally we come to mixed fractions. What are mixed fractions? They are the fractions which you can convert to improper fractions when you simplify them. And in mixed fraction, you have a whole number first and then a fraction. Okay, suppose 5 1 by 2, or you can say 3 2 by 3, all are mixed fractions. But how you simplify them? After you simplify it, it turns out to an improper fraction. Now when you simplify 5 1 by 2, it gives us 11 by 2, which is an improper fraction, as the numerator is greater than the denominator. And in this case, when you simplify it, it turns out to be 11 by 3, an improper fraction, because numerator is greater than the denominator. And how have we solved this mixed fraction? It is quite simple. The whole number which is present here should be multiplied first with the denominator, and then you have to add that resultant with the numerator. Okay, so here I am explaining with this example. Here it is 3 2 by 3. So first you have to multiply this whole number and the denominator, which is 3 into 3, 9, plus the numerator, which is 2. So 9 plus 2, 11, and then you have to divide it by the denominator itself. So the answer here will be 11 by 3. Another important point, friends, that you have to keep in mind here is that in case of fractions, this is a very important point. That is, b should not be equal to 0, or you can say the denominator should never be equal to 0. By chance, if you put a 0 over it, what will happen? Let's take this example, 6 by 7. Now here we have the denominator to be 7. Suppose I put here 6 by 0. This entire term is wrong and it will be an undefined number. So hence we cannot put a 0 in the denominator for fractions. Okay friends, now let us see what is a number line. You know, previously the categories of number systems had all the term number line, but what is actually a number line? A number line, you know, it looks like this, a line which is equally divided into segments, and each segment is of 1 unit. Okay, and the central point, or you can say the midpoint, is termed as 0, and towards your left side, okay, towards these left side we have all the positive numbers till infinity. Okay, and towards the right side we have all the negative numbers till infinity. Okay, so this entire number line, we can say they form the integers. Okay, but when you consider only these negative numbers, then it is your negative integers. Negative integers. Okay, and when you consider only the positive numbers till infinity, then it is called your positive integers. Okay, what will happen to this 0 now? When we include this 0 with the positive integers, then it becomes whole numbers. Okay, so I hope this number line is clear to you all. Now we'll see what are imaginary numbers. Now till now we were discussing what real numbers were, okay, related to this number line. Now imaginary numbers are the numbers which you cannot express them in a number line, okay, cannot be represented in a number line. So they are the numbers which you will get when you multiply real numbers by an imaginary unit I. Okay, in imaginary numbers, we have a term of imaginary unit, which is denoted by the letter I. So when you multiply this I with our real numbers, you get an imaginary number. Example, you see 5i, 3i or minus 2i. All these are imaginary numbers. And how they are formed? This 5 is a real number which we have multiplied with this imaginary unit I, and 5i as a whole is an imaginary number. Friends, now let's look at some of the other types of number in the number category. Okay, first let us try to understand what are factors. A number which divides a given number exactly is called factor. So whenever you come across a number and divide it with another number and you see that it is exactly getting divisible, then those numbers are said to be your factors. Now suppose I say 24. Okay, 24 is your given number, and let's try to find out the factors of 24. Now 24, you can get 1 into 24 will give us 24. Next, 2 into 12 will also give us 24. 3 into 8 will also give us 24. 4 into 6 will also give us 24. So all these numbers, when we multiply, it will result to 24. Okay, so in this case the factors of 24 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12 and 24. So how can I say that these are the factors of 24? Because these numbers divide 24 exactly. Okay, exactly means without leaving any remainder. Okay, now let's try to find out the factors of 36. Okay, so we'll try this out. So 1 into 36 will give us 36. 2 into 18 will also give us 36. 3 into 12. 9 into 4 will also give us 36. Another one will be 6 into 6, 36. So these are, when you multiply these numbers, you will exactly get what? 36. So now from here we can find out the factors of 36. Okay, the factors of 36 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. Clear? When you divide 36 by these numbers, it will be exactly divisible, and hence these are all the factors of 36. Okay friends, now let's try to understand what are multiples. A number obtained by multiplying it by a natural number is called a multiple. Okay, so whenever you multiply a number with natural numbers, the answers which you get are termed as multiples. Example, you say 1 into 5 is equal to 5. 2 into 5, 10. 3 into 5, 15. So 5 is multiplied each time with a natural number. In this case, 5 is multiplied by 1, we get 5. 5 is multiplied by 2, we get a 10. And in this case, 5 when multiplied by 3 gives us 15. So in each case, which are the answers, that is 5, 10 and 15, they are respectively the multiples of 5. Okay? Okay friends, now let's try to find out the multiples of say 4. Okay? So multiples of 4 will be 4, 8, 12, 16, etc. Okay, so now multiples of 4. Now 4 you have to multiply with a natural number to get the multiples. Now 4 when multiplied by 1, we get a 4. 4 multiplied with 2, we get an 8. With 3, we get 12. And like this, we can find out all the multiples of 4. Okay friends, after this multiples, let's move and see what are even numbers. Okay, even numbers are the numbers which are exactly divisible by 2. So when you divide these even numbers, you will get no remainder. Okay, so examples here are 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. So all these are cases of even numbers. Now what are odd numbers? Odd numbers are the ones which is not exactly divisible by 2. Okay, the reverse of even numbers. So here examples are 9, 5, 19 and 21. So when you divide these numbers by 2, these are not exactly divisible by 2. They will always have a remainder. Okay. Moving on to this side, we have next prime numbers. What are prime numbers now? They are the numbers which have factors of 1 and the number itself. So the factors of prime numbers will be 1 and the number itself. Okay, such numbers are termed to be as prime numbers. Example here is 2, 3, 5 and 7. Okay, so what are the factors of 2? It is 2 and 1. Factors of 3 will be 3 and 1. So as a whole, what are the factors? 1 and the number itself. So hence these numbers are termed to be as your prime numbers. Next is composite numbers. They are the numbers which is formed by the product of two distinct numbers. When you multiply two distinct numbers, the resultant will give us a composite number. Or you can say the numbers which are not prime are termed as composite numbers. Example here is 4, 8 or 20. Suppose I say 4. When do you get 4? If you multiply 2 into 2, we get a 4. And 1 into 4 is also 4. Now you see 1 and the number itself is present only in this case. But you can also get 4 when you multiply 2 into 2. Okay? So 2 and 2 are two distinct numbers also. So hence the factors of 4 is not only 1 and the number itself, but besides that we have an extra factor also, which is 2. So such cases fall in the category of composite numbers, where factors are 1, the number itself and some other extra factors. Okay. Now comparing prime and composite numbers, there might be a question, the number 1, okay, in which category does it fall, whether prime or composite? Now the point that you have to remember is 1 is neither prime nor composite. So 1 is neither prime nor composite. Clear? Okay, after prime and composite number, let's check the relative prime numbers. What are they? No common factor other than 1. So when you get two numbers and the common factor is only 1 and no other number, so such numbers are termed as your relative prime. Now you see 3 and 5. What are the common factors between 3 and 5? Only 1. Okay, common factor only 1. 5 and 7 also has a common factor of 1. So these pair of numbers can be termed as relative prime numbers. Okay. Next we come to twin prime. So what is this twin prime numbers? Twin prime numbers are two prime numbers which differ by 2. Okay, two prime numbers, when you get the difference between them to be 2, then such numbers are termed as twin prime. So the example here is 3, 5, 7, 11, 11, 13. Now 5 minus 3 is how much? 5 minus 3, 2. So the difference between both this number when results in 2, they are known as twin prime. Right? In this case also 11 minus 7 will give us a 2, and here also 13 minus 11 will be equal to 2. So moving on to the next is perfect numbers. What are these perfect numbers? When sum of all the factors excluding itself, okay, is the number itself, such numbers are your perfect numbers. So whenever you add all the factors of a number excluding the number itself, then the answer, if it results to the same number, then it is termed as perfect number. So here you see 6. Factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3. 1 into 2 into 3 will give us 6. So these are the factors of 6, that is 1, 2 and 3. So when these factors are added, okay, excluding the number itself, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3. Okay? When we add them, the result is also 6, which is the same number of whom we are finding the factors. Then in such case, these numbers are termed to be as your perfect numbers. So this was all about the categories of numbers. I hope it was useful to you all. So for more parts on number system, you have to wait for our next videos. And along with that, you have to like our videos and subscribe our channel. So with this, I wind up today's session. Till then, take care and goodbye.